Welcome back to Encyclopedia Podcastica. And now we're going to dive into the science of Obamacare, or I guess just what Obamacare is. And first of all, the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, the Affordable Care Act, and Obamacare are all names for the same law. So if someone has told you that Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are not the same thing, they are very, very wrong. Very wrong.
Very wrong.
Extremely wrong. About as wrong as you could get, considering wrongness is binary. But yeah, I'm going to talk about the biggest provisions of Obamacare. So the first one, the one that is most notable, is the individual mandate. It's the most contentious one. And that states that if you can afford health insurance and you don't get it, you have to pay a fine.
Right. But it's not a big fine.
It's not a big fine. And if you can afford health insurance, even if you can't afford health insurance, there are subsidies, which I'll talk about later. Okay. But yeah, this is so that healthy people won't wait until they get sick to get insurance.
We talked a little bit about that.
Yeah. So if you are gonna if you're gonna force insurers to cover people with pre-existing conditions, then you have to also have an individual mandate, or else the law just won't work. The next one is insurers must charge the same rate for the same insurance, regardless of the applicant's gender or pre-existing conditions. You can't charge women more than you charge men.
Right, which is a problem before.
Yeah.
Before Obamacare.
Yeah, before Obamacare, women were consistently charged more for the same health insurance as men.
Right.
Also, insurers can't deny an applicant because of pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
So
did you talk about like the weird stuff they did with that, the pre-existing conditions? Like they were denying people not just getting insurance, but if you already had insurance and you got sick and they determined that you actually had this problem before you got the insurance, they called it a pre-existing condition and refused to cover it. So they basically just took your money.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So
you mean big businesses aren't ethical?
Not even close. Yeah.
But yeah, another provision is that all insurance plans must cover a list of basic benefits outlined in the law called the Essential Health Benefits. It's a list of 10 common sense benefits, and basically it makes a health insurance plan actually useful. So, you can't have a plan that's got like so few benefits that when it comes time to use it, it doesn't cover anything. Like, all health insurance plans must cover at least these 10 benefits. They can cover more, but they have to cover at minimum, these 10. Obamacare also banned coverage caps. So if you get sick and you need lots of care, your insurer can't just dump you to go die in your home. And that happened before, people would get cancer or some other ailment that cost a lot of money for the care. And the insurer would just decide, like, you know what, you've already cost us too much money. You don't get insurance anymore, or you don't get health care anymore. And these people would basically have a death sentence then.
Right.
They wouldn't be able to get care, and they would die.
There's your death panel.
Like, people actually did die because of that before Obamacare. Obamacare has literally saved people's lives.
Yeah.
Another one was medium and big businesses with 50 or more employees must provide health insurance to their employees or pay a tax penalty. And this is the provision that was famously caused Papa John's Pizza to raise the price of their large pizzas by 14 cents.
14 cents?
14 cents.
Oh
Can you believe that?
I can't believe that.
We have to pay 14 extra cents for shitty pizza just so Papa John's employees don't die. Greedy fucking employees.
Can't believe
not wanting
that.
to die. God. Another provision was subsidies. So families that are at or near the poverty level can receive subsidies from the federal government in the form of a tax credit in order to be able to afford health insurance, which is good because poor people deserve to live too.
Yeah. They do stuff.
And it's
So,
really expensive to be poor too.
yeah, which is surprising, but true.
Yeah.
It's not
like
just
if you've
healthcare.
ever actually had to survive on very little money, you kind of realize like just how expensive everything is when you're poor. Like healthcare costs more when you're poor.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense.
Getting around costs more when you're poor. Like everything costs more when you're poor. And the last one I'm going to talk about is exchanges. So the ACA sets up an exchange in each state where the state can mandate what additional benefits are required and can partially regulate the prices of the actual plans. So that keeps insurance plans from becoming ridiculously expensive.
Right.
And if a state doesn't set up an exchange, it's their choice, so they can choose not to, then the federal government will run the exchange for that state.
Right. So the federal government basically set up one website that covers a number of states that decided not to set up their own, correct?
So I can hear all of the right-wingers at home saying, isn't all of that socialism? No. Well, insurance kind of is socialism, so maybe.
Okay. How is it socialism?
Because you're paying for, like, everybody pays into it, and then the people who actually need something get that money. That's what socialism is.
Okay. Fair
So,
enough.
yeah, insurance is kind of a form of socialism anyway.
But there's a company
So-
behind it that makes money.
Yeah, instead of a government, and that's, like, the only difference between the two.
But that makes it not socialism, right?
I
No.
guess.
Okay.
So yeah, what we had before was still socialized. It was just really, really inefficient. And I'll explain to you why. So as a
Good.
country, you have 4 basic options for how to run healthcare. And you can have like a mix between these. You can have more subtleties, more differences in these. But you have basically these 4 options. Option 1 is entirely capitalistic. With this option, people who can afford healthcare get it, and the people who can't afford it, when they get sick, they die. And that's it. That system, it's a system that's actually used in a lot of third world countries where, you know, if you get sick, you just die.
Wow. That doesn't sound very nice.
Yeah. Option 2, which is what we had before, is still capitalist, but you just don't let people die.
You just
So-
like legislate it. You will not die.
Well, it's like you let people get very close to dying, and then you're like, okay, fine, we'll save you. So people who can afford healthcare get it, and the people who can't are only helped when they're literally about to die. Which that's why like ERs couldn't turn people away, like, and they still can't. But you know, ERs in America, ERs can't turn people away, and those who can pay end up paying more to make up for the people who can't pay.
Right.
So it's very inefficient because
Yeah.
if you can't afford healthcare and you need healthcare, you have to wait until it's really expensive to treat you.
Right. And on top of that, like those people who who can't pay, they also don't get any like, I don't know, ongoing health care, right?
Yeah, there's no
preventative
preventative and chronic care.
So they end up waiting until it gets so bad that they have to go to the ER and end up,
Costing
wasting
a lot of money.
Yeah, so much more money.
Yeah. So option 3, which is what we have now, is still capitalist, but you mandate health insurance. So people who can afford healthcare get it, and the people who can't get health insurance through the government. And we prevent minor illnesses from becoming major, much more expensive illnesses, reducing overall costs. So overall, healthcare costs less with this method this option than the one we had before
Previous one.
Obamacare. And option 4 is the actual socialist or single payer healthcare. And that's what Medicare is. So we do have socialized medicine
What?
in America. It's called Medicare. it's actually socialized medicine. We like everyone's like, oh, Obamacare is socialist. It's like, no, we had socialist medicine before. We still have socialist medicine. But yeah, everyone pays taxes, and the government is responsible for keeping people healthy. And most developed countries use that system and have much less expensive healthcare than in the U.S.
Right.
Ours is like the most expensive healthcare out of every developed country.
Like, by far, like 10 times or something.
Yeah.
More
We
expensive.
spend the most on healthcare.
And we actually like our life expectancy is not that great.
Yeah.
In
We spend the
comparison.
most and we get
And we
crappy
don't
results.
Yeah, we don't even have as good. Not even like forget better. We don't have as good a healthcare.
So yeah, those are your 4 options as a country. So I guess it's kind of like a moral decision, you know, do you let people die? Do you not let people die, but you wait until they're almost going to die? Like, I guess you could call it pro-life. Socialist medicine is pro-life.
I don't believe you.
Anyway, that is the science of Obamacare. Do we have any questions from the audience?
What are the 10 essentials that you said have essential benefits?
I can't name them off the top of my head, but the ones that I can remember are emergency room care, ambulatory care. There's maternal and prenatal care, prescription drugs. There's some others, but I can't remember all of them. But yeah, they're defined in the law. So if you just look up, they're called essential health benefits. So if you just Google that term, essential health benefits, you can find the list in the law.
Those jobs.
Correct. It does
Don't think
not
it's-
cover nose jobs.
Not essential.
Rhinoplasty is not included in essential health benefits.
Is there any preventative health measures like included in those benefits?
I can't remember. I think so.
For some reason, I thought there was something that was required. Like, you know, they have to cover like one doctor visit a year for a checkup or something like that.
I think it's a matter of if you're insured, it's to the insurance company.
Well, it's definitely their best interest. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can catch stuff early and
Almost done.
take care of it while it's cheap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Call you and tell you have to come in and get the help. It's time for you to be examined again.
Yeah.
So they had to reach out to you.
We got one.
About the nose thing. If it were a necessary nose job, like you couldn't breathe, or you had some deformity, would they cover that?
I believe so. It's only like cosmetic. Like it wouldn't cover cosmetic. But if it was a medically necessary nose job, then yeah.
Maybe extreme cosmetic surgery, you know, face transplant if you've been attacked by a disease.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. We have one in the back. Yeah.
Employer-provided health care plans make all tests that help you find out if you have something free. I'm not sure whether that does, though. Whether Obama,
Right. If that was required by Obamacare.
all the other, and X-rays and anything that may lead to care costs.
Well, a lot of the plans that you can get through the exchanges are the same plans that are offered by employers.
Yeah.
So they should cover the same thing.
That the exams would be covered.
If they're covered by the ones that employers offer, they should be covered. You know, if it's the same plan, by the plan on the exchange.
I mean, a Blue Shield something or other is the same thing as an employer one. Then yeah.
There are also different levels of the plans on the exchanges. I think it's just bronze, silver, and gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a
that will offer
platinum?
different.
I think they have a platinum one.
Yeah,
Okay.
platinum.
But yeah, they'll offer different benefits. So each plan is like rated, and then the benefits that they offered determines that rating.
Don't they require birth control also?
Yes. Yeah, contraception is required, is under the essential health
Is
benefits.
required to be
Which was-
covered.
Yeah.
Not that you're required to use it.
Yeah.
Just clarifying that.
Yeah, which was a big tiff in the religious community that
Right.
didn't want to provide birth control because they view it as immoral. They view certain types of birth control as immoral. The type where if the egg is already fertilized and then the birth control method keeps it from implanting in the uterus, that's viewed as immoral to them. So they didn't want to provide that.
What do you have to do?
I don't think they do have to. I think that was the Hobby Lobby decision where they don't. Was that Hobby Lobby? Was that the case?
Don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think they have to provide certain types of.
Cases of rape?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is too
Little-
deep for us.
Yeah.
I'm always confused about Medicaid and Medicare and the difference. I know Obamacare involved expansion of Medicaid, I think, so that people of younger age could take advantage of it. Medicare is for people over 65 and it's government subsidized insurance. But can you talk a little about that? The expansion of Medicaid? Actually, I used it. It was called Medi-Cal in California.
I'm not too well versed on that, but do you know a lot about?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Medicaid is for people below a certain poverty level.
Yeah, I thought
Okay.
one was like level of income, the other one was like age.
Yeah. Medicare is the one for older people, and then Medicaid is
That's what I heard.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Medicaid allowed Obamacare to subsidize more
Right.
people of higher income. They didn't have to take into account your assets. They didn't have to do an asset check before you could be covered by Medi-Cal, which is California's Medicaid.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It might be the only state in the country that has that. I mean, something similar. We're really ahead of the game in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you would like to know more about that, I recommend Google.
And isn't there regarding Medicare, it's important your Social Security account, that money is on there. Because if you would not have money on the Social Security account, then they don't accept you, because if something happening, they take money out of your account.
I did not know that.
Sounds
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Hmm.
We don't
Yeah.
have individual Social Security accounts. My Social Security benefits are coming from people who are working today.
Today,
Although the
It's not individual.
the GOP has tried to privatize Social Security before.
Right. It sounds
So
like they're
hopefully
going to
that
try to
won't
do it
happen.
again.
Yeah. Hopefully they will
Yeah.
not succeed.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Well, I know that they say that the money in Social Security isn't affecting the deficit, because they have their own system.
Right.
So when they keep saying,
Right.
"Oh, we should go after Social Security because of the death,"
It has nothing to do with that.
that's just not connected at all.
Politicians are being dishonest? So wait, big businesses are being unethical and politicians are being dishonest? Oh God.
I can't believe this.
What is this world coming to? All right, well, I believe we have a waifu.
We have a
today.
waifu. Do we have music?
Yeah, it should be playing right now.
All right.
You don't hear it?
No, I don't.
I hear it.
but okay.
Am I going crazy?
Maybe I'm going
Audience at
deaf.
home, do you hear it? Leave a comment down below. Unless you're on the podcast, and
Okay.
leave a comment on the website.
Yeah.
Do you have comments? I don't even know if we have a comment section.
I don't know. You're the one who set it up. You should know.
Anyway,
Okay.
whoops, I fucked up. Time for a
Waifu.
waifu.
So last time we talked about aliens. Yay! And there was a question about Martian aliens, specifically microbes that were found in a Martian meteorite. And we weren't sure what happened about that. I think everybody during the podcast knew of this event, but nobody knew details. So I looked up the details. It was Martian meteorite ALH 84001.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, such a great name, Apparently it fell to Earth about 13,000 years ago, but was not found until December 27th, 1984. And in 1996, a group of scientists thought they found signs of life inside the meteorite. So they actually broke it open, and inside, not on the outside, but inside the meteor, they saw stuff that resembled bacteria, or I should say they saw like the fossilized remains of stuff that looked like bacteria. The problem was what they saw was like way smaller than the size of normal bacteria. So this is like really tiny bacteria. It was actually what it was. But it turned out that the features that they found were actually explainable by non-biological processes. So they were not alien microbes from Mars.
Darn you, non-biological processes.
Terrible. But it did kick off like some of the early actual searches for microbes on other planets, even though we haven't found any. And specifically Mars.
Let's go to Europa.
Yay.
Come on, Congress. Fund it. Fund it. Do it.
Didn't we decide there was no Congress members watching or listening to our podcast? Or
No, I'm
watching?
sure there are.
Oh, okay.
Probably all of them.
I doubt it.
Isn't that how they open their sessions? With our podcast? All right. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Hunter.
And we would like to thank CyberSDF for letting us use their songs Welcome and Mellow Acid for our intro and outro. And Blue Wave Theory for letting us use their song 900 Turbo as our waifu music. And we want to thank the humanist community in Silicon Valley for co-producing with us.
Yay!
That was an announcement that I forgot to make at the beginning of the show. The humanist community in Silicon Valley is now a co-producer of the show, along with the Silicon Valley Skeptics. I'd also like to thank our studio audience. And if you're watching on YouTube, remember to hit the subscribe button to get more episodes, and hit the like button if you liked this video. And I hope you're all still alive, because this will all be on the test.
Encyclopedia Podcastica is a production of the Silicon Valley Skeptics, an organization dedicated to promoting science and critical thinking. You can find us on Twitter at SVSkeptics or Facebook at facebook.com/SVSkeptics. You can contact us at svskeptics@gmail.com. If you like the show, please rate us on iTunes.